The lowest hanging fruit on LinkedIn for your lead generation is in the people who've already said no to you. So if you've been in business for, over a period of time and you've been doing lead generation, everyone feels like you always have to be generating new leads and so on. But if you've made an offer to someone in the past, whether it be send out a proposal or even just had a conversation with them and they said, now's not a good time, or they just said no for whatever reason, chances are in future, if they showed interest in future, at some point they will be interested. So what if you create an offer for them that might be relevant and it'll give you a new opportunity to reach out, there's a good chance that they will say yes this time. So I'm working with an automation consultant at the moment. He'd been reaching out to people on LinkedIn for the last 6 months, got a good few yeses, but also got many more no's, as is the case with sales. You're going to get 95% no's when you do reach out. So for me, when he told me this, I seen a huge opportunity. So what we did was we put together an offer that would allow him to go back into the market to re-engage all these leads and have a chat to them again. So here's the 3-step process that we followed, and it resulted in 9 booked sales calls in 5 days. So first, we created the offer. So we can't just reach back out to someone after having not talked to them for 4 months and say, hey, are you ready to buy now? We have to have something tangible to actually go to them with for it to be reasonable for us to reach out again. So the offer that we came up in this case was, and it needs to be a no-brainer. It needs to be something that will really capture their attention in order to get a yes. You can just create another lead magnet and so on, but it just doesn't work as well. You need something that's really compelling, and there's gonna be a high likelihood of them saying yes to it. So the offer that we came up in this case was, I'll build you a simple automation for free, and if you find it useful, we can talk about building more. So simple is a key word here, because automations can get super complex and people will just ask for more and more and more. But the offer in this case is something simple that gives the person an opportunity to actually use the thing, to see the benefits from it, and they can see how useful it is. Because when people sell automation services, a big part of the struggle that they have is that they're just selling automation services, but people don't see the benefit of that because they haven't experienced how good an automated business can be or feel to run. So building a simple automation that takes less than an hour for each qualified lead. So obviously he's only going to do this for qualified people. It'll give them an opportunity to experience the benefit and take the first step in his service, and they're naturally then going to want more, because that's only going to be 1% of the potential solution that he can bring on. So this was a really good offer to go with, and he went with it to 200 old contacts. So I give him an outline script to follow. Obviously it needs to change, because for each person we're reaching out to, not just in terms of personalization, but if you've had a conversation with them in the past, you're going to want to reference that conversation, whatever you're talking about, or whether it was on a phone, whatever that might be. The first couple of words of the conversation of your outreach message should be relative to that. Then the next stage of the message is going to be introducing the new offer. So in this case, what we did was we said, hey, I started rolling out a new offer for niche, whatever they are. It would be great to get your feedback on it. So we're not particularly just going and selling it hard. We're just saying, if you could give us some feedback on it, that'd be awesome. Details are in the document here, and then he has a little doc that he can send through, or you could have done it as a LinkedIn post, but he has a short document that's a couple of 100 words that explains what it is. Here's a doc with all the details in short, and then explain the offer. So in this case, he said, I'm offering to build a free automation for niche businesses who want to desired outcome. Do you know anyone who might be interested? So this is the key thing again. It's like, do you know anyone who might be interested? I'm not pitching you, but if you have a look at it and you're interested, then that's great. We can talk about that. Or if you know anyone who might be interested, you might end up getting 4, 5, or 6 contacts for this. If this offer is really good, i.e. in this case it is, because I'll build you a simple automation for free, you're going to get a lot of yeses, and you're going to get a lot of, even if it's not a yes, it's like, I'm not interested right now, but I know that John and Jim and Sally are. Let me pass the details on to them, and you can have a talk to them. Because it should be so good that they're actually excited to tell their friends about it. Because if it just feels like another sales thing that you're giving away, then they're not going to be excited to pass it on. But if it feels like, when was the last time, let's say someone gave you $100 voucher for a shop and then said you can't use that, but you have to give it to one of your friends, they'd be super excited to actually give it to their friend because they're getting to give them $100. So your offer needs to be that good that makes the person who you're reaching out to excited to give it to their network. And if you don't think they're going to be excited to give it to their network, it's not a good enough offer. So you would need to go back to step one in that case. But in short, my client reached out to 200 contacts. He's still having a lot of conversations with those. Personalize the conversations, because there's obviously going to be follow-ups, as in, like in this case it was what type of automations could we build and so on, and he ended up having a lot of voice note messages with people to and fro, because you can only say so much in short text. But the results, he got 20 positive responses, 9 booked sales calls in just 5 days of launching the campaign. And these were not new people that he's reaching out to cold, it's people that he already knew. So the conversations were very natural and they could flow very easily. So if you've been in business for a period of time and you've been, doing LinkedIn lead generation, everyone's talking about how to get new leads, but the best leads are the ones you've already spoken to, because they already know you. And the chances are, since they've said no, they've probably been, if you've been posting content, they've probably been watching it and they know you that bit more, and maybe they've seen a couple of your videos. So when you come back the second time with a really good offer like this, it'll be that much easier to actually get them across the line. So steal this campaign, tap into the low-hanging fruit that's no doubt there if you've been doing any sort of outreach or having calls or whatever that might be, and you will get a few clients from this. My client got 9 booked sales calls in 5 days. You could potentially do more. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you need more help and more strategies like this for LinkedIn, and you want to learn how to sign 1 to 5 clients every month consistently, there's a link below this with a playbook on how I've helped my clients generate $1.9 million on LinkedIn. Go click that. You'll see everything you need to know, and I'll see you there.